Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, 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 Om Shri Ram Jai Ram.
Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram 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 Om Shri Ram Jai राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय 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 राम जय जय राम
ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय राम Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram 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 Jai Jai Ram
Hari Om, Pranam Swamiji.
Hari Om, pranams, pranams. Pranams, pranams, pranams. Pranams.
Namaskar.
Namaskar. Yesterday, it was suggested that we should try to dwell upon the 70s. 72. Slogan number 72 of the chapter number 2. But before that, if we have to understand this 72, not only 72, the whole of Gita, we need some more in-depth study. Papa says, behold divinity in every aspect of this World Leela. Verily, he is at play in all beings and creatures. Papa says, behold divinity in every aspect of this World Leela. Verily, it is he at play in all beings and creatures. Very difficult for us to understand. We appreciate because he is our Guru, so he will only tell the truth, he will only tell the reality. But although all these years, 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, or 20 years, 30 years, we must have been associating with these thoughts through rituals, through Satsang, through darshan of saints, through visiting pilgrim centers, through nama chanting, through bhajan, through swadhyay, but still beholding divinity in every aspect. This is what Bhagavat Geeta tells us. That is why we have not been able to understand. But the entire theme of Bhagavat Geeta has been put by Papa in a capsule form in this: behold divinity in every aspect of this World Leela. So before we try to understand the import of Srimad Bhagavat Geeta, it will be better if we contemplate upon the secret of this manifestation. At the moment it is academic, intellectual. But we must try. The Puranas declare that the whole of life is indeed the Leela of the Lord, in which he himself is the hero and the villain, the actor and the audience, the director and the producer. The song and the silence, and even the very stage on which the drama is enacted. Purana says this. It is by a large mobilization of his prakriti, his energy, his will, his power, that he manifests himself in all his multiplicity. But then the question arises as to why he allows himself to get caught in the web of his own creation. That means, becoming unaware of his original nature. Can the spider be trapped in its own web? The explanation is simple. The best actors are those who can completely immerse their private lives in the personality of the character they are portraying. So also in the cosmic drama, the supreme actor has to forget his true nature and allow himself to be caught in the web of his own Maya. If he is to completely and satisfyingly enact the different roles. He becomes the king on the throne, the beggar in the street, the murderer about to be hung, the victim lying in a pool of blood, as well as the judge pronouncing judgment in the court. He is the sole actor, solo enjoyer, the only experience, oblivious of his divine origin, submerged in the role. He is playing, laughing, crying, dancing, singing, living and dying. And the avatara comes in order to free the jiva from this complicated web of divine origin and enable it to realize its own nature. So this background we should have. Then only Papa's words can be. Behold divinity in every aspect of this world Leela. Verily, it is he at play in all beings and creatures. Throughout the chapters of Srimad Bhagavat Geeta, we find the above principle is given emphasis repeatedly. In other words, the whole Bhagavat Gita is to help us to behold him everywhere at all times. Tough job, but we will try, that is the goal to be reached. It can be taken that the whole scene at the Kurukshetra battlefield and the characters play there are in the minds of every one of us. Lord Krishna stands for the indwelling reality, the substratum. Arjuna represents the sense of individuality. Kauravas denote the negative and downpulling forces. Pandavas symbolize the positive and elevating forces. And finally, the field of Kurukshetra is the world of everyone within and without. We are trying to understand Papa's words, behold divinity in every aspect of this Leela. The 70th chapter, slogan number 72 says about this Brahmistiti, this realization state. The sense of individuality, that means we, ordinary individual, oblivious of the substratum. Substratum means the indwelling reality God. Tries to find a sense of fullness or happiness in the outer world, outer life. In the family life, professional life, social life. By retaining its separate entity. Here starts the cobweb of challenges, duties, commitments, anxieties, stress, uncertainties, discomfort, discontentment, and the like. Many a time they lead to frustration, dejection, dispiritedness, depression. At a particular juncture, he or she gets awakened to the truth that only by understanding first and realizing later that there is a superpower named as the indwelling reality God who is behind all creatures and situations, as depicted in the second para, just now we read. We should know that we are only playing the part allotted to us by Him in this world Leela, and nothing is really initiated by us. This theme is repeatedly brought out by Lord Krishna throughout the Bhagavad Gita. So this should be in the background. And the first chapter, what does it say? First chapter was the first sloka. No? The battlefield of Kurukshetra, the venue for the pre-scripted drama. We can call it as a pre-scripted drama, our whole life. Starts with the theme contained in the first chapter. The first sloka, through the words of Dhritarashtra, draws our attention to the cardinal mistake we are made to commit by allowing our mind to get dominated with the me and mine. Behind all our thoughts, words and deeds. My children and Paura. He asks, we cannot simply go, The first one is pointed beautifully by the Lord. Here starts your whole problem, he says. Tell me, O Sanjaya, assembled in Kurukshetra, the center of religious activity, desirous to fate, what indeed did my people and the Pandavas do? The blind king Dhritarashtra's ardent affection for his own sons had clouded his wisdom to deny the kingdom of Hastinapura to his nephews, the rightful heirs. This reminds us how people may fall from grace, from the path of righteousness, into the cesspool of selfishness when they are blinded by clinging on to their attachment like a monkey with a clenched fist. So the first sloka starts. As King Dhritarashtra was blind, his eldest son, Duryodhana, was the de facto king who virtually ruled the kingdom. In these slokas, Duryodhana approaches his guru Dronacharya to appraise him of the situation in the battlefield and share his own apprehension about the outcome of this impending war. We have to now substitute ourselves, Then we find the me and mine is the starting point of our. That means we have become unaware of the power behind the me and mine. So the first chapter elaborately put, we can go it later. And when we come to the second chapter, because we are trying to understand the 72nd chapter, last sloka. So before that, it is better to have an understanding about how we are, because the meaning of the last sloka is Yasha Brahmi Siddhi Partha Nainam Prapya Vimukhyati Stitva Syamandakalepi Andakalepi, Brahma Nirvanam Ichchati. This is called Brahmanishta. Yasha. This showing with the hand, Brahmistiti Partha. Arjuna, this is called Brahmistiti. Up to 71, he has been from 55, he was trying to portray the picture of a Sthita Prajna, a man of steady wisdom.
Hotspot is there.
Current, no?
No, but hotspot will go even if the current is it has come. It will come back.
The network is not there.
It will come.
Not available. No internet.
It is there now. Mohan Mandir, it has come. Come, no?
Mohan Mandir.
Mohan Mandir.
Connect. No.
No internet. It will come. No, connected. It will come. It has come.
So this Chitta state is having one's being in Brahman. The state where
Swamiji, we missed some few minutes because
No, it was not. We also had stopped.
Stopped.
We also
Swamiji
had
did
stopped.
not talk because the net was not there.
we immediately stopped.
okay, thank you, sir.
So this Chitta state, it was 17 slokas. Sri Krishna was trying to portray the lakshana of a Sthita Prajna. And he says, this state, Sthita state, is having one's being in Brahman, Brahmistiti. That means realization, no? O son of Pratha, attaining to this, none attaining to this becomes deluded. That means you are assured that you will be free from all. Being established therein, at the end of one's own life, one attains to oneness with Brahman. So that much importance is there for this second chapter and the 16 slokas, 17 slokas. This is the 18th sloka in that category. Mahima of this, And then, he again says, showing with the hand, this Brahmistiti, Arjuna, this is called Brahmistiti, getting established in Brahman, the ultimate and the intimate reality. Nainam prapya vimukhyati. Once you achieve this, never again can delusion overpower you. Stitvasyam antakale api Brahma Nirvanam Richard. If you achieve this even at the end of your life, even then you achieve Brahma Nirvana in Brahman, becoming one with Brahman. In this very earth, not in any heaven. If one could not achieve this when young, one can achieve it in old age. So we are all given passport now. None of us need to get worried. So far I have not. No, don't worry. The assurance is given by Lord Krishna. In this very earth, one can achieve it in old age also, before the fall of the body, by slowly developing enough spiritual strength. Even attaining this just before death, you will achieve oneness with Brahman. Shankaracharya's comment upon this is very inspiring. If you achieve it just before death, it is wonderful. But how much more wonderful will it be if you had got it earlier as a youth and lived under its inspiration? That is the message which the second chapter gives to every one of us. It's a rational message, a practical message, a universal message. We can, all of us, have this attitude developed within ourselves, and this achievement we can have in this very life. This is the teaching of the Gita. So before that, we will try to go through the steps, Now we are very clear that actualizing the Sthitaprajnahood guarantees us to attain the Brahmistiti. So during these 72 slokas, 71 slokas, how he is building it up, The first few slokas, Arjuna's depressed state of mind is picturized. And then Krishna, as his close friend, takes the freedom of pointing out his lapses in a blunt manner. Kutastva Kashmaramidam. And at the same time makes him aware of his capability and potentiality to enthuse him. Anarya Jushtam, Aswargyam, Akirtikaram, no. Though after hearing the words of Krishna, Arjuna becomes receptive to some extent, still he was not fully convinced. He said, I will not fight. Krishna then builds up the argument about the transcendent reality. You remember when he says about when the body perishes, Vasamsi Jirnani, Atman does not, it cannot be cut, fire cannot touch, all those things, So discrimination between the self and the non-self, the body and the Atman. The perishability of the body and the imperishable nature of the Atman. That is beautifully brought out. Then Krishna also reminds him about the duty of a Kshatriya and that he should not run away from the same. Krishna advises him to solve the problem from a higher level, at the same time do what is needed for the hour. Brahmistiti is a state where I reach. The present state is where I live. It should go hand in hand. The state where I want to reach and the state in which I live, there should be a harmonious blend. Papa in beautiful words says, outer activity should be compatible with inner aspiration. Realize that whatever is happening in and around us is already decided by the Almighty. In other words, everything is pre-scripted. It will be difficult, but still we have to accept the truth. That is one of the pet expressions of our beloved Papa. Whatever is happening only by God's will. Whatever is happening only for our ultimate good. See, the Bhagavat Geeta and Papa's words, he has put it in a simple way. He alone is. His will alone prevails. All these things are listed, So realize that whatever is happening in and around us is already decided by the Almighty. In other words, everything is pre-scripted. Nobody can avoid actions, but should appropriate the fruits of action too, but should not appropriate the fruition of actions to oneself only, because
Swamiji,
Ah.
this feeling of everything being pre-scripted and predetermined gives me a feeling of helplessness instead of submission.
Is it a state of helplessness?
It gives her a feeling of helplessness.
Initially,
instead of submission.
yeah, in the churning, first we will see helplessness. Even Papa's inquest of God, utter helplessness. Because it is very difficult, right from the moment we started knowing ourselves, the self-asserting ego has been there. And the self-asserting ego is made to understand that it has no independent role. It has a role as scripted by the divine. So it is difficult. But that is the reality. Vittal Rao, when he transformed himself into Swami Ramdas, he was able to get stabilized in it. And all Mahatmas. And even when they are not in the Kavi form or in this category, we have seen umpteen number of people leading such a life. They may not talk philosophy, but their life, yesterday we were remembering, So then when we start remembering them, the self-assertion, it becomes less and less. So this is what is needed from our end. Self-assertion. Constant remembrance when Papa keeps on harping, what for? Only to make us aware that even these words are coming because he willed it. Our mind may say, I am now talking. But the mind should know that even for the existence of the mind, he should be there. That is why he is listing out so many things in the Siddha Prajna state. So let us go through it, Then we can come back again.
Swamiji?
We will now go through this, so that many of our doubts may probably get cleared because of this. So nobody can avoid actions, but should not appropriate the fruits of action to oneself only, because there are so many other contributory factors that have enabled us to have the fruits of action. Yesterday we were listing out. Hence it is to be shared with all. Equanimity and excellence are needed for such a state of mind. Equanimity means free from attachment and pairs of opposites. Excellence means dedication while involved in all types of action becomes full and not partial. Whole soul. And then Arjuna named, now having, when he started listing this one by one, especially when the Lord came to the equanimity and the texturity of action, efficiency of action, and then as a true and a receptive student, Arjuna named it as Sthita Prajna. Another clue for all of us, When we are trying to understand the words of the noble ones, there should be a what do you call it? Our effort to go along with it. So Arjuna was trying to go along with the points raised by Sri Krishna. How do we know that? It comes out in the form of naming, Sthita Prajna. Please understand, Lord Krishna did not name it as Sthita Prajna first. Man of steady wisdom. But this is the quality of a steady wisdom that he was able to understand. Intellectually he was able to understand. And then Arjuna names it as Sthita Prajna. Then Arjuna asks the Lakshana of a person who holds the Sthita Prajna states. Lord amplifies what is meant by the word Sthita Prajna. And in the 71, we know that is the state of Brahmacity. So self-contained and self-contented. up to the brim, there is nothing to be filled in. Full, Purnam. Self-contained and self-contented. Free from the pairs of opposites and the three down-pulling forces, attachment, fear and anger. Neither rejoices nor hates. Self-control, that means what is not to be seen should not be seen. What is not to be touched should not be touched. What is not to be heard should not be heard. What is not to be smelled should not be smelled. What is not to be spoken should not be spoken. Like that, withdrawal of the sense from the sense organs from the sense objects. Withdrawal of the sense organs from the sense objects. We are trying to understand Brahmistiti.
Yes, Swamiji, quite clear.
We are trying to understand the nature of a Sthita Prajna. Actually, everyone should note down this. And then, when this card is before us, we will know which are the areas we have to improve. Absence of the inner cravings. Outwardly, we may be receding it. But whether the inner craving is there or not, only that particular person will know. So it has to be uprooted. This is the word used. And then, be cautious about the turbulent nature of the senses. Always you have to be alert. Always you have to be alert. Because one of the sense organs, will immediately take us. On a weak moment, when we are not having this, activity in the sattvic state, on a weak moment, when the sense objects comes before us, the sense organs will pull us down unknowingly, and the fall is certain. So be vigilant, subdue the senses and keep the mind ever absorbed in me, in Him. Be vigilant, lest the decline, attachment, desire, delusion, loss of memory, destruction of discrimination, and anger. That will lead us on to a total fall. Then, peace is realized through sense control, also by freeing from both attraction and repulsion. Peaceful state, We are not affected by anything. The peace is not affected. Yesterday, Swami Ranganathanji was telling, somebody says something that I am a fool and I get upset. That means I am in somebody's pocket. Whereas anybody telling about me does not affect me at all. He may not know. When the two boys were mocking at Papa, how did he react? Only in peace all pains are destroyed. Know that knowledge and deep contemplation can ensure peace, and without peace there can be no happiness. Ashandasya kutasukam. Be aware that senses carry away the mind instead of getting fixed on God. So sense control is a must. Be indifferent to all down-pulling forces. Be like an ocean, 71, which accepts all types of waters but yet remain unaffected by it. Freedom from me and mine ensures peace. And the last one, 72 is, be sure that the above will lead to the Brahmic state. The entire thing has to be so beautifully built by him, step by step, step by step. So we keep it before us. We now know where we have erred or where we don't have the control. And then we pray to him to give us the needed strength and courage to get over that weakness. Because first of all, we should be very clear that we want to achieve that Brahmic state, the Sthita Prajnahood, that equanimity state, that excellence, the state of excellence, state of equanimity I want to achieve, Samatvam. In other words, Sri Krishna is telling us this Samatva itself is Brahmistiti. This excellent itself is Brahmistiti. So that is why in the last 72 sloka he says, this Sthita Prajna is having one's being in Brahman. That is why Mahatma Ji, during his prayer sessions every day, in Sabarmati as well as in Varda, or wherever he goes, he was insisting to repeat these slokas, 17, 18 slokas. Because we are reminded of how to raise ourselves up to that stage. I may fail, I may forget, but I must keep on hammering, Contentment. Otherwise, the me and mind will somehow stealthily come there and then assert itself and make us unaware of, oblivious of our goal to be achieved. So 72 is a very important one. The culmination of all our efforts. How it helps us to raise to what state? Then he assures it is Brahmistiti. We request everyone again to take up the Gita, Bhagavat Geeta from the shelf and then go through it again and again and try to understand it through the words of Papa, that the end and aim of all our effort is to behold divinity in every aspect of this world Leela. We are talking to you from the Maun Mandir, the Centenary Hall in Anandashram. As we enter the Centenary Hall, we see the inaugural message, delivered by Beloved Papa on 15th May 1931. There he clearly mentions the ideal of the ashram is universal love and service based upon the vision of divinity in everybody. Based upon the vision of divinity. That is the Brahmistiti. Beholding the divinity in everybody. So he said, behold divinity in all. Behold divinity in every aspect of this world Leela. Whether if you have enabled it as plus, minus, positive, negative, gain, loss, paining, sorrowful, or happy or joyous. Behold divinity in every aspect of this world Leela. So this is the end and aim of all our sadhana. It is for that purpose we are chanting Ram Nam. It is for that purpose we are doing bhajan. It is for that purpose we are going through the various books. It is for that purpose we go to temples, we observe certain rituals. It is for that purpose we go and have the darshan of Mahatmas. We do all these things, but we are unaware of what is to be aimed at. We get stuck in between, no? Please think over it. As we enter this, Papa has beautifully mentioned this. So the purpose of doing everything in this ashram is to know the divinity in everybody. And what is realized within its walls will serve as
Example.
think about it. Need not bring about the same word. So whether our mind is in a position to remember, that is the test we are giving. Ramdas has the supreme delight to speak to you today. These were the words delivered by Papa on 15th May 1931 at the time of inauguration of Anandashram. Ramdas delivered a short speech. Briefly put, it ran as follows. Ramdas has the supreme delight to speak to you today a few words at the inauguration of this holy ashram. The ideal which the ashram holds before it is universal love and service based upon the vision of divinity in all beings and creatures of the world. Here, every man, woman or child, to whatever denomination, creed or caste a person may belong, shall have free access. This is a place where every effort will be made to cultivate the spirit of mutual love and service, so that what is realized within its walls may prove as an example for the right contact of human life in the outside world. So this is the laboratory, this is the training center, this is the orientation center. We try to develop this mutual love and service. It is not merely for accommodating us and giving us food and facilitating us to chant for some time and take part in all other activities. No doubt we have to do. But what is the purpose? This is a place where every effort will be made to cultivate the spirit of mutual love and service, so that what is realized within its walls may prove as an example for the right conduct of human life in the outside world. The Lord is our help and guide in all matters. May He, with all His bounty, shower His blessings on this great service which this home of love and bliss has undertaken to discharge. As inmates, as the spiritual children of Papa, these words are to be, hammered into our. What is happening to me? Am I living up to? Though He has given me all facilities, I am still bothered only about my comforts, my. But He says, this is a place where every effort will be made to cultivate the spirit of mutual love and service, so that what is realized within its walls may prove as an example for the right conduct of human life in the outside world. The Lord is our help and guide in all matters. May He, with all His bounty, shower His blessings on the great service which this home of love and bliss has undertaken to discharge. So the Brahmistiti pointed out in the 72nd sloka of Srimad Bhagavat Geeta has been beautifully brought out by Papa in the inaugural message. Based upon the vision of divinity, universal love and service, not of any social service. When we identify when we know that it is God who has provided this field, God who has provided the human birth for me, God who has facilitated me to have the wherewithal, God has provided and He has also given us the motivation to involve. Then it becomes universal love and service. Otherwise, it is called social service, where the sense of individuality is fully predominant. This is not what is expected of us. In the initial stages, probably it may be like that. The parents may tell us when during our birthday, go to this old age home or orphanages or the school for the mentally, physically handicapped. Go and do something, give them chocolates, give them vadas, give them some laddus. Initially, okay. But all these ideas are to know that the field is given by Him, prompting is given by Him, human birth is given by Him, and the wherewithal is given by Him. So I should be thankful to Him. This particular word, no, 71, 72, slogan number 72, the Brahmistiti. So what happens when we reach the Brahmistiti? It will be mutual love and service, mutual respect. We recognize everyone. And self-contented and self-contained. We are not looking for a certificate from any outer factors. Outwardly, people may name it as, no, we are immature, we are poor, we have got this deficiency, that deficiency. But to him, he is self-contented, self-contained. And God gives us, yesterday we were sharing, umpteen number of persons and situations where this is evident. It is not limited to only Mahatmas or sannyasis or holy men. No, ordinary people. You and I can do it. And Papa gives us a very simple thing. You remember him always. To remember that, he wanted us to chant. You remember him always so that you will be able to bring in the God dimension. So to remember, chant always. The moment I chant, I should become aware. So far I have been chanting without this dimension. But it has not been in vain, it has become a habit now. And some joy also I get. Though I have not brought in the God dimension, some joy. Probably that is how probably he is shaping me. Initially I would not have understood. I cannot understand. So he says chant. So he is making me to chant, and later on this chanting is helping me to go within and find out, still I have been chanting but peace is still far away. I am still disturbed. I am still I have a feeling, I am distressed. So then he slowly answers from within. You are chanting the name to remember me. By remembering me, you are trying to understand that I am behind everything. Again, Papa connects us to the first one. Behold divinity in every aspect of this world Leela. Verily, he is at play in our beings and creatures. He is at play. When Krishna says, Nimitta matram bhavasavya sajin, no? You are only an instrument. We were trying to understand, but we don't. Intellectually, we would have understood a little, but experientially, no. Because the sense of individuality is so dominant, is so asserting that it's not giving way for the dimension. So, slogan number 72 of second chapter of Bhagavat Geeta, brings all these dimensions into our brain. What is it that I am living? All my concepts, I am trying to revisit my concepts and give a change to it. It has been from the individual level. In spite of hearing, in spite of intellectually getting convinced, we still find lack of necessary courage and initiative to take a plunge. So that is why he lists so many 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We have condensed to 16, but it can again be reduced. So 10 to 15 points of this Stita Prajna. We write it in our own language. When you open this Stita Prajna Prajnasya ka bhasha, from that stage onwards up to this 72, 71, whatever we have understood, we try to put it in our own words. That means a code of conduct we are imposing upon ourselves. And while writing it, the mind will resist. Because the equipment is not yet ready, or the equipment is far, far away from the ideal, so naturally it will resist. And this churning is a wonderful process. This is the in-depth study of Bhagavat Geeta, not, we don't want to cover the stanzas, script, textual meaning and all those things. We want to have the extract, essence, spirit. And Papa is helping us through his simple words. Behold divinity in every aspect of this World Leela. So we can tell him, I am unable to accept this as a World Leela. To me, this is not a Leela. I am not acting. I am honest. With this dialogue, this dialogue from our part with him will make us know ultimately that we are the actors. God has given us a role to perform. God has given us a human birth. Again, we are trying to understand that we were not consulted before we were conceived by my mother. No. And then, during the period when I was in my mother's womb, everything is fed through her to me by him, who gave me the human birth. Previously, I was thinking my parents are responsible for my birth. No doubt they are responsible. They are, in the sense, they are the instrumental cause, but the ultimate seed is from him. Because our parents were also born to their parents. So they cannot be the starting point. Their parents were also born to their parents. So finally, we again go to Srimad Bhagavat Geeta, where he says elaborately about this bija. In 4 or 5 stanzas, he elaborately discusses, I am behind this. We have many a times we have repeated, but still again it is needed, connecting up with this. Bijam Mam Sarvabhudanam, in the 7th chapter, 10th sloka. Vidhi Parthajan, O Arjuna, know that I am the eternal seed of all beings. Gadir Bharta Prabhu Sakshi Nivasa Sharanam Suhride Prabhava Pralayasthanam Nidanam Bijam Avyayam. I am the supreme goal of all living beings. I am also their sustainer, master, witness, which were not known to us till then, abode, shelter, friend. I am the origin, I am the end, I am the resting place of the creation. I am the repository and eternal seed. This is in chapter number 9, sloka number 18. Again in chapter number 10, sloka 39. He says, Echavi sarvabhutanam bijam tataham arjuna na tadasti vina yasyad maya bhudam characharam. I am the generating seed of all living beings, O Arjuna. No creature moving or non-moving can exist without me. In chapter 14, sloka number 3, Sarvayonishu kaunteya मूर्तय संभवंदिया तासाम ब्रह्म महद्योनि aham bija pratapita. It should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed-giving father. And again, chapter number 14, sloka number 4, Mamayonir Mahad Brahma Tasmin Garbham Dadamyaham Sambhava Sarvabhutanam Tato Bhavati Bharata. He says, my womb is the real Brahman. In it I place the seed. From that, O Bharata, is the birth of all beings. So through these various slokas, he tries to take us to the origin of ourselves, that he is behind this human birth.
See, once more the slokas numbers alone. And chapter.
Chapter number 7,
Yes.
sloka number 10.
Yes, Swami.
Chapter number 9,
Yes.
sloka number 18.
Yes, Swami.
Chapter number 10,
Yes, Swami.
sloka number 39.
39.
Chapter number 14,
14.
sloka number 3.
3 and
Chapter number 14 again, sloka number 4.
yes, Swami.
Maybe this much our research could bring it out.
Yes, Swami. Kind of.
So we are very clear about it, that where from we have come. Intellectually at least we accept,
Yes, Swami.
Then we try to go. So this is very clear now. From this source only I have come. And I did not bring anything. And everything has been provided to me. So that itself is, he has assigned this. When you say, I have been given a human birth, this assignment also is given by him. I may not agree, I may not be able to understand, I may not get convinced, but that is the truth. So now my efforts should be to get proven to me. So I gather all these details, I look at my life, then I find that I have not brought anything. He has set the stage. All the articles. In Malayalam, the great revered Narayana Guru, he said, that I am the tools. I am also the one who is handling the tools. Behind everything, only I am. So anywhere we lay our hand, suppose you take any shloka, Harinama Kirtanam, anything you go there, then this has been highlighted. We have been learning it by heart, we have been reproducing it, we have been chanting it, but we have not been trying to go along with the theme. So now Sri Krishna is reminding us through, at the field, battlefield, you see that, at the battlefield, that means the field of action. Not in a secluded cave, not in Himalayas, not in an ashram, not in a temple. He is right on the field of action. There he says, if you try to build up this equanimity, samatvam, and excellence in all that you do, you will be reaching the stage where everything is full in you. You will be active, dynamic. You will bring out all the potentialities stored in you by him, but at the same time unaffected, untouched by anything that is happening outside. The 71, Apuryamana Majala Pradishtam. Kindly think about it. Then only the 72 will become clear. The more we think about it, now we know that unless we go through it with an in-depth study perspective, we will not be able to understand the 72nd. Sloka number 72. Sloka number 72 is the culmination of all these things. It is an outcome of all these. So Sthitaprajna, why it is important? Now it is becoming clearer and clearer. Why are we to dwell on it more and more? Why are we to every now and then see how to what extent I have been able to live up to it? Which are the areas I have to improve? Which are the lapses? Which are the roadblocks I have to remove? So kindly note down, go through the stanza from 55 to 72, 71 and write down in your own language what God makes you to understand from those slokas. Because when you try to bring it in your own language, it will be from your own heart. So you will be able to understand it better than the textual meaning. Textual meaning is given by, okay, but the real meaning I will understand only when it is harmonized with my experience. Kindly think about it. More about this tomorrow. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Why don't you make me aware of what all you have given to me? Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. In all our chanting we may not be able to bring, but at least in 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, let us bring this. I am chanting the name only to make me aware of this fundamental truth. Why don't you please make me aware of it? I would not have had a pakka mind, a mature mind to understand this. Please make it mature. I have been craving for it. You are providing everything, you are facilitating everything, but make me to enjoy that, no. Everything has been provided, but I must be able to enjoy that facility provided by you. For that you must give me this awareness. Let this be also go along with the run. That is why this particular tune links up with it. We bring before our mental vision any Ishtadevata or any Guru or at least the nameless, formless reality. And then pray. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai
Shri Ram, Jai Ram,
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Hari Om Hari Om.
Namaskaram, Swamiji.
Namaskaram.
Pranam Swamiji.
Pranam, pranam. Pranam, pranam. Hari Om to everybody. So that individually we don't have to say.
ഇവിടെ ഉണ്ട് ഇവിടെ ഉണ്ട് ഇവിടെ ഉണ്ട്